Well, and think about this. The World Championships is in a week from Sunday on a really hard climbers course. If you were his director, would you send him to the Worlds now that he's on like amazing form?
Well, I think that's safe to say. Yeah, I mean, I would, but I would be very careful how he goes about that week leading into next Sunday. Because it's, as you know, it's tricky business how the body bounces out of a Grand Tour and being 21. All these unknowns are taking place right now for Pogacar, and you're exactly right. But saying that, it could be a totally different story. So that's the amazing thing about cycling. And I hope that's the case, that he shows up in top form.
Well, typically the San Sebastian World Cup is the week after the Tour de France ends. Not in this season, of course, but now it's the Worlds the week after. And usually you see the winner of the San Sebastian World Cup is a rider who finishes the Tour de France the week before. Have
Yes.
you have you had experienced that? Have you gone to the San Sebastian World Cup after the tour?
Yes, I have. I've gone as a tour rider and as a non-tour rider. And I'll tell you, there's very big difference in the sensation when you haven't been racing those guys for the last 21 days and you go to the San Sebastian. Well, you feel it, because when these guys start lighting it up, even though they might be tired and fatigued from 21 days of racing super hard Grand Tour, their perception of their ability and their sensation, they're just at a whole other level. Whereas when I've finished the Tour de France and then done San Sebastian, you feel amongst it. You feel like it's not that big of a deal. You just have that rhythm in you, right? And most of the time, if you haven't raced the tour, you've been on a big break, and it's very hard to mimic that race rhythm in a tough 1 day classic like San Sebastian.
Well, we'll see what happens at the Worlds next week.